everyone, I'm Vicki Murphy. I'm a Jira Align specialist with Valiantys, which is a Platinum Solutions partner with Atlassian. And in this video, I'll be breaking down the updates to Jira Align with the release of version 10.133. This version was released to Jira Align instances on the continuous release track on May 17th, 2024. That will typically be your test or dev environment if you have one. And it will be released to all other instances on May 24th, 2024. Let's go ahead and jump into these updates. With this release, Atlassian announced their enhanced milestone functionality. Milestones can now be created on themes, epics, capabilities, and features, and they will live on their own milestones tab, as you can see here. This does enhance the existing fixed date milestone functionality that we historically saw in Jira Align. Let's go ahead and talk about what milestones are and how we can use them. Milestones are really quite flexible and can represent anything that you want. A series of events, a specific check-in date for a work item. The options are really endless. On the Milestones tab, users can create up to 20 milestones per work item. For every milestone, users will be able to provide information including a title, a description, a start date and due date. You will notice if you were previously using the fixed date milestones, we now just have two dates. We no longer have that portfolio ask date here. We just have a start and due date. We also have a state field. These are out of the box and system controlled, so we're not able to customize the states currently. We do see very similar states to our objectives here, and there is a wide variety of states that should represent really any state of a milestone. We also have a category field. This does have some out-of-the-box options, but this field is customizable by administrators for the entire instance, and I'll cover how you can do that in just a little bit. Once we've updated or created our milestone, we can just press save. If we do need to go back in and make any edits, we can press the three dots on each individual milestone, and here you can edit or delete the milestones. Additionally, since we can have up to 20 milestones, there is some sorting options right here on the milestone tab. You can sort by name, start date, due date, or state, ascending or descending. Additionally, as you start to approach that 20 milestone limit, the tab will show you a warning as you get close to 20. In the release notes, Atlassian did state that any existing fixed date milestones that already existed for your epics in your instance will automatically be migrated to this new tab and framework. Users will be able to update any of the new fields available for those milestones going forward. Also, if you have over 20 fixed date milestones for a work item, this migration will include all of those milestones, but users will not be able to add any new milestones without deleting existing ones for those work items that already have 20 plus milestones. Let's go ahead and also look at milestones on the roadmap. If you previously used that fixed date milestone functionality, you probably also viewed the roadmap or viewed those milestones on your roadmap. The visualization for our milestones is really the same as we previously saw. They will display as these stars on our work items. So here I have my epic that I was just looking at, and I have a start and due date star for each milestone. You'll notice I do have multiple milestones here for this epic, so I do see multiple blue stars and multiple yellow stars. If you go to your roadmap and you do not see these stars when you expect to, do make sure you've enabled the milestones by clicking on the Milestones and Objectives button at the top right of the roadmap. We also have a couple of updates to this screen. First, Atlassian has renamed these sections. We now just have milestones and objectives, making it really clear what we are enabling. You can enable or disable each. For objectives, you do still need to individually enable each objective if you want to view it on the roadmap. Additionally, on the objectives, you will no longer see the objective type of roadmap milestone. That has been renamed as event. The functionality is still the same. You can still view any of the objectives on the roadmap that are linked to your work items here, but that event objective will display differently on the program board. Let's go ahead and jump into the admin settings and talk about how you can enable this functionality. The new milestone functionality will automatically be enabled for users who previously had the Time and Skills tab enabled for their epics. And a quick note that Time and Skills tab has been deprecated with this release as well, and we have the new milestone tab. Admins can enable the milestone functionality for each work item under the roles. So to navigate here, we'll go to the admin settings to the roles. We'll choose a specific role. I'll just choose an example one here. Once we selected a role, we can then expand the portfolio, solution, or program tiers to find our specific work items at each level. And each work item will now have a toggle for the milestone tab. Don't forget to scroll down to the bottom and press save to save this for end users, and you will need to repeat this for any applicable role. Additionally, administrators can update that category field for milestones from the admin settings. This time we'll be here in the admin page. We'll go to platform. Under platform, we'll go to drop downs. And one of the drop downs is now going to be milestone category. Here we see the out-of-the-box options that can be edited, removed, and new options can be added. Atlassian did not call out a limit to the options here, but do be aware that this will be the options across the entire instance, so across all of your portfolios and all of your roles that have access to the milestones tab. Next, we're going to talk about some updates to some of our reports, starting with the Risk Roam report. I'm going to navigate to my program tier here. Over the last couple of releases, Atlassian has been working on the UI update of the Risk Roam report. And one of the updates with that is how we navigate to the Roam report. Previously, we were able to navigate to this report by going to more items, risks, and under more actions. You will no longer have that option. Instead, we will just go to the program tier and to our reports. And Risk Roam report is now in alphabetical order towards the bottom here. Atlassian said that they updated this navigation to make sure that we are always keeping that context from the new navigation UI of our program and our program increment as we navigate to this report. Here we see that new UI for the Risk Roam report. With this release, all users will have access to the toggle to enable or switch between the new UI and the legacy UI. Atlassian said that that legacy UI will be removed with the version 11.2. Next, let's jump to our status reports at the portfolio level. In the status report, we will start to see that milestone functionality display. It hasn't quite taken place in my instance just yet, but what you may see in yours is a schedule section has been renamed to milestones, where you will see the milestones we just looked at previously, the start date, due date, category, description, and state of those milestones. Additionally, you will see the removal of the portfolio ask field in the status reports. Next, we have some updates to the Jira Align connector, starting with one that end users will begin to see on your work items that sync between Jira and Jira Align. So this will be that feature and story tier. Users will start to see some new fields at the top called last updated and last updated by. This is an attempt to show users when the last saved version of this epic is to increase visibility as to when the tools are syncing. Additionally, if users update the Jira project field to be a deleted or an invalid project selection, they will begin to see a warning at the top as well, letting them know they need to make an update to that project field. Next, let's jump to the admin settings for the Jira connector for a couple more updates. So jumping to the admin settings, the Jira settings page, and on the Manage Projects tab, going forward, whenever you create a new syncing of a project or you edit an existing project, you will be required to input the project key. If you do not have a valid project key, you will see a warning letting you know you need to update that field. Additionally, going forward, Atlassian said that to delete a project from the connector, you will need to open up the panel as I have here and press this delete button. I believe that means that they will be removing the delete function from this list view. Additionally, the Jira integration tab, where we are able to put in a JQL query to sync data between the tools, is going to now require that you make a project selection. You can click into this field to select one or multiple projects, or you can click include all projects here. Do be cautious as syncing multiple or all projects at once could cause performance issues if you have a lot of data that you are trying to sync. Additionally, once the sync starts, it cannot be stopped. So be cautious with this. Make sure if you're syncing everything in your instance and you have a lot of data, you're doing so in off hours so end users are not impacted. Jumping to the slides for a couple more updates. An update to the API 2.0. When running the get command on features inside the recycle bin, the release ID will now return as null. This will ensure consistency across all work items, as the release ID previously returned as -2, again for those features that are in the recycle bin. Additionally, the forecast page has had a performance improvement. Going forward, the load time will be 100% faster when working with program increments that contain more than 10 teams. This release did include several defect fixes, a couple of highlights, some bug fixes to features syncing between Jira and Jira Align, ensuring some consistency in how filters are displayed across custom rooms in the new UI, and removing warnings from the board syncing settings that were no longer valid on that sprint syncing tab. You can learn more about these defect fixes as well as any of the feature updates covered in this video in the release notes. They will be linked in the description of the video. That is all of the updates to Jira Align with the release of version 10.133. Thank you very much and good luck on your Jira Align journey.